Hey there, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is it. This is it. This is the one and only vlog that comes out during Bright Ticket Week. Next week, for the next week's vlog, Bright Ticket Week will be over. And the people who have decided to get their all access memberships with their Bright tickets will have done it. And for everybody else, those prices will never be seen again. No pressure, Susan Pierce Thompson, to come up with something interesting to say during this particular vlog. But luckily I'm saved because the first live stream for Bright Ticket Week happened yesterday, and something on that live stream happened that so moved me and captivated me that it gave me the perfect topic to talk about with you today. The general topic for today's vlog is bright beginnings. And that's the theme actually for this week is Bright Ticket equals or leads to or turns into, manifests as your bright beginning. And so in my presentation yesterday, I talked about bright beginnings. I talked about what they are, what the value of them is. And I'm going to share some of that with you in this vlog right here. But first I want to share that little tidbit that moved me so much. I pointed it out on the live stream, but I don't know how many other data geeks there would have been on that live stream with me live. There were about 1,000 people there with me live, and I don't know how many of them have crunched data for years, like collected numbers, created polls and asked people questions, looked at survey results, processed data. Like when you look at raw data, I mean, and that's kind of what you do getting a research-based master's and PhD and doing a postdoc like I did. It's a lot of years of really looking at numbers and looking at raw data in a certain way. I don't know how many other people there were on that live stream that have spent years upon years upon years looking at raw data like I have. And so I don't know if it sort of went over everyone's head. I don't know if it's going to go over your head, but I'm going to try to convey the specialness of this to you because I really believe it means something for you, for me, for our Bright Line Eating community, and frankly, for our whole world. And here it is. I offered a poll with a lot of questions. And one of the questions was, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but I'm going to get it pretty close to right because I didn't memorize it. But the question was, in essence, do you feel like you need a bright beginning in your life right now? And the options were yes or no, or they could skip the question altogether. Yes or no. Do you feel like you need a bright beginning in your life right now? I gave the results of all the poll questions on the live stream. We looked through the graphs together, and this one stood out to me so starkly. I had to circle back in preparation for shooting this vlog and really make sure that I didn't exaggerate the numbers in my mind. And I did not. The numbers are that 1,130 people had answered the poll by the time I circled back again to look after the presentation. This was some time after. At the time of the presentation, not quite that many people had answered, but 1,130 people responding, and 97% of them said yes, and 3% said no. Now, it's a simple question, I get that. Who doesn't want a bright beginning? Sure. It's a skewed sample, obviously. These are people coming to a presentation during Bright Ticket Week. They already know the theme is bright beginnings. Why wouldn't you just say, yes, I want a bright beginning? But here's the thing. Data don't work like that. You can't get 97% of people to say yes to anything on a survey. I'm not kidding. Ask people who do market research for a living. You can't get 97% of people to say yes to a question like, I agree that the sky is generally blue on clear days. You can't get 97% of people to say yes to that. I'm not kidding. 97% of us said yes. I feel like I need a bright beginning in my life right now. The import of that is that we are divided in all kinds of ways. We have been unsettled and unmoored in all kinds of ways. Life is hard differently for us, and for some people it's not. And what we are united on beyond anything I've ever seen, I'm racking my brain. I can't think of a survey question I've ever asked that I've gotten 97% of people answering in one way. It never happens. Not like that. 94% sure, 92% yes, 97% no. It doesn't happen. What we are united in our agreement upon is that it is time to gather ourselves up and put a stake in the ground, that it's time to move on. It's time to choose ourselves to turn over a new leaf. It's time to start a new chapter. We are yearning, craving for support in doing that. Probably we've tried already. And because things continue to be hard in all kinds of ways, harder than normal. And because maybe we haven't had the support we've needed in whatever way, we're extra ready now, yearning for it, craving for it, a fresh start, a new beginning, a bright beginning. And in this vlog, I want to share with you some of the secrets of a bright beginning. The way to support yourself in turning over a new leaf is, first of all, to memorialize it with a temporal landmark. You know the kind, January 1st, right? But that's not the only option. There's also your birthday, or your daughter's birthday, or your spouse's birthday, or the anniversary of when you adopted your dog or your cat, or Monday, or the first of any month, or the day you register for your all-access membership during Bright Ticket Week. Because it's a new day for all of us. Bright Line Eating has radically slashed its prices, 80% down. Not just a little, 80% down. And now, we will be joining together with a larger group, a stronger group, a more cohesive group, a group made up of people who used to be Bright Lifers, yes, and people who have just read the book thus far and never taken any Bright Line Eating course. People who used to do Bright Line Eating and fell away, people who've done the 14-day challenge and are finally excited to be able to invest in themselves to go to the next level. We are united together to be starting fresh. And that makes this week really magical and special. We've been leading up to it for a month for a reason. First of all, because there was a lot of complicated stuff before, and even though what's coming now in the future, what we're transitioning to is simple, it's taken a long time to explain how all of that stuff is transitioning to this simple membership. And there were a lot of things for the Bright Line Eating team to work out, including, by the way, that registration was broken for a lot of yesterday. It's fixed now. There is a link below here if you want to access the page, the concierge page, the one page from which you can link to register. You can link to watch the live streams. You can check out the schedule of live streams. I will be presenting on more things all week. 6 presentations in total. There is a lot that I'm doing and the Bright Line Eating team is doing and the Bright Line Eating community is doing to help you memorialize your fresh start with a temporal landmark. Temporal meaning time, right? A landmark in time. You know, a landmark like the gas station at the corner, right? Go on the main road and then turn left at the gas station on the corner to get to my house. The gas station on the corner is a landmark. Well, there are landmarks in time as well. Birthdays and anniversaries and January 1st. And some of the most powerful temporal landmarks you create yourself out of some sort of a special day to you. It could be the start of a new semester. It could be the day when all of Bright Line Eating turns over a new leaf. There is power happening here. Power that you can rally for your bright beginning, your fresh start. Here's what declaring a fresh start does for you. First of all, it helps relegate mistakes to the past. That's really helpful because it gives you hope, right? Literally, if you start to feel like this is the new version of me, you get just that extra boost of hope that you need to try again and to make it stick this time. It's just helpful to draw a line in the sand and say, that was the old me, this is a fresh me. That helps you build a new identity. Now, you can't create a new identity overnight just by drawing a line in the sand. You know that and I know that. It's not that easy. And yes, 64% of people a couple months after January 1st are back to their old ways. We all know that. The fresh start effect doesn't get you everything, but it gets you a lot at first. And if you have a proven system to follow, the fresh start effect gets you started. If you have a system to follow, that's enough. The bright identity is built one meal at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time. It starts to aggregate. It starts to accumulate. So when you have a good fresh start, it puts wind under your sails so that you relegate the mistakes to the past, you get a boost on your new identity, and then the system kicks in and helps you build a more solid identity one day at a time after that. The final thing that the fresh start effect gives you is it gives you a different perspective, a different view on your life, right? Think about how reflective you have sometimes felt at the end of a year as January 1st is approaching or right around that New Year time. It shakes you out of your stupor of living the mundane day-to-day way that you live, right? It shakes you out of your stupor. And it helps you think more clearly and more effectively about the big picture of your life. You stop staring at all the little trees of the day and the routines and the blah, blah, and you start thinking about the forest of your life, the bigger picture, the 60,000-foot view. And from that vantage point, you make better decisions. Like, oh my gosh, my blood sugar, I have got to change course for real. Let me actually get myself the support I need this time and really do this. From that vantage point, you can really embark on the journey that is the bright journey that you want to be on. You wouldn't be watching or listening to this vlog if you didn't, odds are. Unless you're like my lifetime best friend or something, but odds are you're here because a part of you wants this. A part that has your best interests at heart. And there might be other parts of you that are like, I don't want to give up my sugar and flour, or this sounds hard. Fair enough. The fresh start effect can get you over the starting line. Use that temporal landmark of Bright Ticket Week right here. And I have one more powerful thing to share with you. And first, I want to ask you a question. Why do you think every time we would launch a boot camp in the past, we would get hundreds of Bright Lifers signing up for it? Hundreds of Bright Lifers signing up for it, even though they have access to the boot camp for free. And they would still pay $100 to start it again, even though they could start it again on their own and go through it on their own. Why do you think every time we launched a boot camp, hundreds of Bright Lifers would pay money they didn't need to pay so that we could hand them videos that they could already access on their own in their Bright Lifers hub? Why do they do that? There are two answers, and they both have to do with what we're talking about so far. One has to do with what I've already told you. One has to do with what I'm about to tell you. First of all, they joined the new boot camp for the fresh start effect. Because when they joined the new boot camp, we, Bright Line Eating, Susan Pierce Thompson and the team, hand them the line in the sand. Boot camp starts on Monday. Boot camp starts on Wednesday. Boot camp starts February 6th. Boot camp starts. All in? Are you joining? Yes, I'm joining. And we do the heavy lifting for them. And they decide to ride on the coattails of the fresh start effect that we provide. Why? Because a part of them is smart and wise and knows that it will help. It will help. Yes, they can access the same videos for free. No, they don't need to pay the $100, but they do because they're smart and they know it will help. And then the other reason is that I haven't gotten to yet is that it matters to do it with other people. They want to join the group. They want to get put into a new group of people going through that material together. Together. And for the power of that, I have another story for you, an example, an illustration. Did you know that there is a career, a profession in Mumbai, India, of picking up lunches in the late morning that have been made at home lovingly by nurturing caretakers at home and delivering lunches, often across town, a very, very busy town, to the worker in the field, wherever they're working, in the office building or whatever, spot on by lunchtime. These people are called dabuwalas. Dabuwalas. And there's 5,000 of them in Mumbai, India. And every day, 6 days a week, year-round, they deliver 200,000 lunches. They spend all morning picking them up in the neighborhoods, and then they spend the late morning delivering them by lunchtime. 200,000 lunches, 6 days a week, are delivered by dabuwalas. And they have no cell phones, no tracking devices, no GPS, no scanners or barcodes, and they never miss. They make as few mistakes as FedEx. Those lunches are on time always. How do they do that? How do they do that? They're relying on trains to get across town. How do they do that? They achieve outrageous results by belonging to the group of Dabuwalas with a strong identity, achieving one common unified goal to get this job done and done well. And they do it together. They have such a sense of pride and belonging. They wear their little white hat and they know what they're about. They deliver those lunches without fail. It's a fabulous job and they love it. That illustrates the power of synchrony. Did you know that joining a choral singing group is as good for your health as exercising? Not singing alone, singing with people is as good for your health as exercising. Cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy experience dramatic improvements after just one choral singing lesson together in a group with other people. They do not get those same benefits when they sing alone. Singing with people is what does it. This is why it matters that we do it together. People do not get the same results doing Bright Line Eating on their own. And right now during Bright Ticket Week for Bright Line Eating, we are creating a group of people, the likes of which we have never before amassed, to go through a year together, starting with Bright Line Holiday. By the time the next vlog comes out, Bright Line Holiday will have already started. And if you haven't registered, by then you will have missed it. Missed it. Together, we're drawing a line in the sand and we're saying, you know what? We are turning over our new beginning. We are declaring this to be our bright beginning. We are done with nearly 2 years of languishing through this mud, this quicksand we've been walking through. We're done with it. We're not saying there's no mud, no quicksand left. We're just saying that we are rising above. We are banding together. We are deciding that we are living bright. We are going to have a Bright Line Holiday together. And then January 1st, we are going to reboot and resume together. And then we're going to talk about the psychology of maintenance. It's all going to be about what does it really take to transition from overweight, obese, obsessed, craving, thinking about food and what you weigh more than you should, dealing with all the ill health consequences of that extra weight, those extra pounds, dealing with the self-loathing and the recriminations after those bouts of eating too much food that we didn't want to eat, all the way down into a bright body, living in our right-sized body, confident, peaceful, craving-free, and then opening up into the world of what next? How can I live this life now beyond the food and the weight? It is quite a thing to do that. I've been doing it for 18 years, not perfectly all the time, as you know. It is quite a thing, and we're going to dive deep into maintenance together. That is the journey we are on together. And by next week's vlog, if you haven't joined, you will have missed it. Just saying. 97% said yes. I need a bright beginning. I've never seen anything like it. I know I'm a data geek. You might say, Susan, that's not such a big deal. I'm telling you, I look at numbers for a living. It is a big deal. We are absolutely wrung out from what has happened these last couple years, wrung out and over it. And we want to rise together. If you are watching this vlog or listening to this vlog anywhere other than at brightlineeating.com, come on over to brightlineeating.com. Watch the vlog here because down below there is a link to the concierge page. The concierge page. I'll be sending you that link all week in emails. If you really want it right now, it's ble.life/bright ticket. That's the link. And it is your one-stop shop to access, with just the click of a button, registering with your all-access membership at deep discounted prices that will never be seen again. Never. Or for accessing any of the live streams. If you liked what I was talking about the bright beginning, I gave a better presentation on it Tuesday. Go access the recording. And while you're there, check out Christina Cox. That was an incredible discussion I had with her. Everybody that I talked to cried. Everybody. She cried, I cried, everybody cried. Go check that out too. It was mind-blowing. From this one page, you can access everything you need with just a click. And the full description of the future topics of my live stream presentations all week long will be there as well. Look, you have choices. You don't need to join us. I hope you do, but you don't need to join us for this all-access membership promotion that we're doing right now. You don't need to. You can keep doing Bright Line Eating for free with the book, with the vlogs. And, of course, you can just wait and do it some other time. Or you can keep doing it the way you've been doing it, or not do it at all. You have so many choices. But I believe you're here for a reason. And I have been steeped in the scientific literature of weight loss and in actually helping actual people to lose their excess weight for 26 years now. That's how long I've been doing this. 26 years in one form or another. And what I've seen is that what we've got going right here, right now in Bright Line Eating, I've never seen anything like it. Not everybody succeeds. There's lots of weight regain. There's lots of people still experiencing their brain blocking them from losing weight. There's lots of people still struggling to do enough inner work to catch up to the level of cravings that they've got on board and still looking for the way to make it click into place. But the levels of success that we see around here are gobsmacking. And I believe available to you and anyone who is willing to put their stake in the ground and just follow the plan. And I'll tell you right now, it's easier to do together. And it's way easier to do with a fresh start that's provided for you. So here's your holiday gift. A fresh start as a gift from the Bright Line Eating team and me straight to you because we care. We legit care. Join us. Next week will be too late. Click below for that concierge page. Everything you need is right there all week. It's Bright Ticket Week. You need, I need, we all need a bright beginning. And it's time. So join us. That's the weekly vlog. I'll see you next week.